staying on top of the crypto world feels like, well, a constant race, doesn't it?
No, absolutely.
Just when you think you've got a handle on things, boom, there's a new announcement, a new trend.
Exactly.
That's why we're here, though. Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah, today we've sifted through the latest happenings on the Binance platform. It's a mix of official announcements and, what the community is buzzing about.
We're trying to bring you the key insights.
Pretty much.
Think of this as your fast track to understanding what's significant. We're looking at everything from brand new tokens hitting the market,
right,
to fresh opportunities for earning and trading on Binance.
Our goal is really to cut through the jargon, give you the context you need, see the bigger picture.
And the material we've looked at, it includes the official word from Binance on new listings, like Sign and Initia, updates to margin trading, new ways to earn.
And we've also dipped into Binance Square just to gauge the community's reaction, see how people are feeling about these things.
Okay, let's unpack this then, starting with the new arrivals on Binance, the latest token listings.
Sounds good.
First up, we have Sign. Ticker is SIGN. It's set to officially launch on April 28th, 2025. So what's the story there?
Well, what's interesting here is IGN's ambition. It's designed to be a global infrastructure for verifying credentials and distributing tokens.
Credentials. Like digital identity.
Exactly. This is pretty relevant right now as the whole Web3 space grows and, the need for secure digital identities becomes more critical.
Right.
Projects like SIGN could potentially simplify things like KYC processes.
Know your customer.
Or maybe enable safer, more private ways to share data online, that kind of thing.
That sounds pretty fundamental, actually. When it launches, it's coming with quite a few trading options.
Yeah, SIGN paired with USDT, USDC, BNB, FDUSD, and even the Turkish lira, TR.
Wow, try Y2. Interesting. And there's early access on Binance Alpha.
Yep, an hour before the main listing, so 10 marked more year 0 UTC.
What's the significance of that early window? Is it just for VIPs?
Well, it essentially gives a select group a first crack at trading the new token before it's, widely available.
Yeah.
It can give them an advantage, maybe capture some early price movement. It's definitely something to watch if you're keen on trading new listings right out of the gate.
Now, Binance has labeled SIGN with a seed tag.
Yeah.
What exactly does that signify for us?
Okay, the seed tag. It's basically Binance's way of highlighting that SIGN is a very early stage project.
Early stage, so potential upside.
Right. It could have significant potential for growth, but, and this is the important part, it also comes with higher risks, more potential volatility.
Gotcha.
It's a clear signal for users to, exercise extra caution, really do their own homework before jumping in.
Right. So high potential, but definitely not without its risks.
Makes sense. Now, for those who are already holding certain assets on Binance, there was a HCO dealer airdrop for SIGN.
Yes.
How did that work? Was it like a reward? Pretty much. If you held BNB in Binance Earn either the flexible or locked options, or in certain on-chain yield products between April 15th and 19th, 2025, you would have automatically received an airdrop of SIGN tokens.
Nice.
Yeah, it's Binance's way of rewarding users who are already invested in their ecosystem. A little thank you.
A nice little perk for loyal users then. What about the tokenomics, the total number of SIGN tokens out there?
So the total and maximum supply of SIGN is capped at 10 billion tokens.
10 billion, okay.
And of that total, 200 million were allocated for that HO dealer airdrop we just talked about.
Right.
And another 150 million are set aside for future marketing efforts.
So doing the math, that's like a bit over 3% of the total supply for initial distribution and promotion.
Yeah, roughly. That sounds about right.
And what's been the vibe around this IGN listing? Over on Binance Square, what are people saying?
There's definitely a buzz.
Yeah.
Lots of discussion in the community about what SIGN could be used for, its potential. And of course, speculating on how the price might move, you always get that.
Sure.
We've even seen reports of a sharp price increase immediately after it listed on Binance Alpha.
Ah, that early access window.
Exactly. Followed by a bit of a pullback, a drop.
So typical new listing volatility.
Very common. Early participants might take profits. The market tries to find its footing, establish a stable price. It's pretty standard stuff for a new token.
A bit of a roller coaster ride to start, which, sounds typical. Now, SIGN wasn't the only new face on Binance recently, was it?
Yep.
We also saw Initia, INIT, join the platform a bit earlier. What's their focus? Is it similar?
No, INAT arrived before SIGN, and its focus is quite different, actually. It's what's called a modular layer 1 plus layer 2 network.
Okay, modular L1 plus L2. Break that down a bit.
Sure. Think of a layer 1 or L1 as the main highway for blockchain transactions, like, Bitcoin or Ethereum.
Got it. The base layer.
Right. Initia isn't just one of those. It also incorporates layer 2 solutions, L2s, which are kind of like faster express lanes built on top of that main highway.
Ah, okay. For speed and efficiency.
Exactly. This modular design can offer more flexibility and improve the speed, the efficiency of transactions. Scalability is a big part of it.
So it's about building a more scalable, maybe more adaptable blockchain infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems Binance made INT available across quite a few of their services.
They did, yeah. You can find INT on Binance Earn if you're looking to potentially earn rewards on your holdings.
Okay.
It's also available to buy directly through their Buy Crypto feature.
Still enough.
And you can easily swap it for other cryptos using Binance Convert. And for traders, it's also on both margin and futures markets. Pretty wide integration.
And there was even a bit of a competition, a promotion to mark its arrival, right?
Yes, that's right. A 1,000 INA prize pool was offered for traders.
1 million INA. Wow.
Yeah, it's a common strategy exchanges use. Generates excitement, boosts trading activity around a new listing, gets people involved.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving from spot listings to the world of derivatives, Binance has also expanded its futures offerings.
They have.
We saw the launch of the USDM JSTUSDT perpetual contract on April 28th. What does this let users do?
Okay, so this new contract lets you trade on the future price of JUST, or JST.
JST from the Tron ecosystem.
That's the one, a DeFi ecosystem token on Tron. And you trade it using USDT as the settlement currency.
And it's a perpetual contract.
Yep. Perpetual means, unlike traditional futures, it doesn't have an expiry date. You can hold the position for as long as you like, basically.
Okay. And for those who are comfortable with it, what kind of leverage are we talking about for this JSTUSDT contract?
Pretty high leverage, actually. Up to 75 times your initial investment.
75x.
Yeah. Now, it's crucial, really crucial to understand that while high leverage can amplify potential profits,
Big potential gains.
it also dramatically increases the risk of substantial losses. I mean, really substantial. It's a tool for experienced traders, people who fully grasp the implications.
Definitely something to approach with caution then. What about the fees involved? You mentioned funding.
Right. The funding fee settlement happens every 4 hours, and there's a cap on the rate at plus or minus 2.00%.
And that helps keep the price aligned with the spot market.
Exactly. That mechanism is designed to help keep the price of the futures contract closely tied to the current spot market price of JST.
Got it. And JST wasn't the only one getting a new futures contract, right? ASEAN is also entering the perpetuals market.
That's right. Hot on the heels of the JST one.
So how should listeners think about the risks and potential rewards of trading this futures contract, especially given that seed tag status we talked about?
Yeah, good question. The USDM SIGN perpetual contract also launched on April 28th, shortly after the JST contract, at 11.00 UTC.
Okay.
It mirrors the JST contract up to 75x leverage USDT settlement. But given that SIGN is tagged as a seed project,
Which means higher volatility.
exactly, higher inherent volatility. Trading its futures contract, therefore, carries, well, significant risk. Even more so, perhaps.
So amplified potential and amplified risk.
You got it. While the potential for large gains exists, the possibility of rapid, substantial losses is also very, very real. Traders should be particularly mindful, do their research, and really consider their risk tolerance very carefully before touching that one.
Okay, so a busy day for futures traders on Binance, with both JST and SIGN joining the perpetuals market. Let's switch gears now. Let's talk about ways to earn on Binance.
Sure.
There's a new promotion for NF Prompt or NFP flexible products. What's the deal there?
Right. This promotion runs from April 28th to May 27th, 2025, so about a month.
Okay.
Binance is offering a 20% bonus tiered APR that's annual percentage rate on top of the standard real-time APR.
20% bonus on top of the regular rate.
Yep, for eligible users who subscribe to NFP flexible products. APR, just as a reminder, represents the annual return you could potentially earn on your holdings.
So you could potentially earn a much higher return on your NFP during this promotional period.
How does that tiered structure work, though?
It's based on how much NFP you hold in the flexible product. For holdings between 0 and 1,500 NFP.
Okay, up to 1,500.
Users can earn approximately 20% APR. That includes both the bonus and the regular yield.
And above 1,500 NFP.
For any amount greater than 1,500 NFP, the earning rate will just be the standard real-time APR. No bonus on the amount over that threshold.
Interesting. So it seems structured to incentivize maybe smaller to medium holders?
That's likely the aim, yeah.
Okay.
Spread the bonus around a bit more.
And it sounds like you need to be quick if you're interested. First come, first served.
Exactly. There's likely a cap, a limit to the total amount of NFP that can be subscribed under that higher bonus APR. So yeah, don't wait too long if you want in.
Okay. But there's also a separate giveaway related to NFP, a locked position giveaway. What's involved there?
Yeah, that's another part of the promotion. Users who subscribe to NFP flexible products.
During the same period? Yes, during the promotion period, and with a net subscription of at least 10 NFP.
Net subscription, meaning more put in than taken out.
Precisely. Subscriptions minus redemptions. If that net amount is at least 10 NFP, you can enter a draw, basically, to win from a pool of 1.3 million NFP in locked products.
1.3 million NFP. That's a significant amount up for grabs. How are those rewards being distributed? Is it just random?
No, it's ranked. The top 40,000 participants ranked by their net subscription amount to the flexible products.
Ah, so the more you subscribe, the higher your rank.
Correct. Those top 40,000 will receive NFP in locked products.
And the rewards differ.
They do. The top 1,000 will each get 520 NFP locked for 150 days with a 10% APR.
Okay. Decent chunk for the top tier.
And then the next 39,000 participants will each receive 20 NFP in locked products, also with the 10% APR, although the announcement didn't specify the lock duration for that tier.
Gotcha. So the more NFP you actively subscribe and keep in the flexible product, the better your chances of getting into a higher reward tier for the locked product giveaway.
That's the idea. It encourages participation and holding.
Interesting way to structure it. Now, Binance's offerings are, like we said, constantly expanding. Margin trading, too. We've seen some updates there recently. Could you just quickly remind us what margin trading involves for anyone less familiar?
Sure thing. Margin trading basically allows users to borrow funds from the exchange.
Yeah, borrow money.
To trade with more capital than they actually hold in their account. This can, amplify potential profit.
Make your bets.
But, and it's the same warning as with futures leverage, it also significantly increases the risk of losses because you're trading with borrowed money.
Right. Lose more than you started with, potentially.
Exactly. Binance offers both cross-margin, where your margin balance is shared across all positions, and isolated margin, where each trading pair has its own separate margin account.
Okay. And we saw some new assets and pairs added earlier this year, right? Back in March 2024?
Yes, that's right. There was an earlier expansion. They added assets like DCR, LTO, MLN, and WBTC as both borrowable assets and collateral. And new trading pairs, too, like BOMFDSD, DCRESDT, and others. It just shows the ongoing, development of their margin offerings. They keep adding stuff.
And now, with the latest announcements, SIGN is also joining the margin party.
Correct. As of April 28th, 2025, SIGN has been added as a borrowable asset on both cross-margin and isolated margin.
Borrowable. Okay.
And additionally, new trading pairs specifically for margin trading JSTUSDT and JSTUSDT have been introduced.
So more flexibility for traders looking to leverage their positions on this new token right from the start.
Exactly. It gives them more options almost immediately.
It definitely seems like Binance is aiming to integrate these new listings pretty deeply across their entire platform. Spot, futures, earn, margin.
Makes sense. They want users to be able to interact with the new assets in multiple ways.
Another tool they offer is Binance Convert. For anyone who hasn't used it, what's the core function of Convert? Is it just simple swapping?
Yeah, essentially. Binance Convert is a really straightforward way to buy and sell different cryptocurrencies.
Easier than the main exchange interface.
Generally, yes. It allows for direct swaps between a whole load of assets, sometimes including fiat currencies too, without needing to navigate the traditional order books you find on the spot exchange. It supports both instant market orders, just swap at the current price, and also limit orders, where you set the price you want.
Limit orders too. Good.
And you can access it easily through the website and the mobile apps, both the Lite version and the Pro version.
So it's a more user-friendly way to exchange crypto, basically. And SIGN will also be available on Convert.
Yes, SIGN will be available for zero-fee conversion.
Zero fee?
For the Convert tool, yeah. Against major cryptos like BTC, stablecoins like USDT, and other supported tokens, usually within about an hour after its spot listing goes live.
So another convenient way for users to get or trade SIGN without, immediately hitting standard trading fees.
Exactly. Offers another pathway in or out.
Okay, finally, let's briefly touch on just gauging the overall mood of the market. Binance Academy talks about the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. What's the value of keeping an eye on something like that, especially with all these new listings and opportunities popping up?
Yeah, the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. It's a useful tool, or at least an interesting indicator. It tries to measure the overall sentiment in the crypto market.
Fear or greed? Simple enough.
Right. It looks at various factors, volatility, market momentum, social media buzz, things like that, to determine if the market is primarily driven by fear.
Which might
suggest a potential buying opportunity, perhaps, as prices could be seen as undervalued.
Okay.
Or, on the other hand, if it's driven by excessive greed.
Everyone's jumping in. FOMO.
Kind of, which could indicate a market that's maybe overbought, potentially due for a correction.
Right, so it gives you a general temperature reading.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, our sources today don't give us a specific reading for the index right now, but just understanding the prevailing market sentiment can provide useful, broader context when you're considering new listings, new trading opportunities, deciding whether to jump in or maybe hold back.
Makes sense. Okay, so to recap then, it's been quite a flurry of activity on Binance recently.
Definitely busy.
We've seen the arrival of new tokens like SIGN, focusing on that digital identity piece, and INIT, the modular blockchain network. And both are being integrated across various Binance platforms pretty quickly.
Yeah. Spot, Earn, Margin, Convert.
And we also have the new futures contracts for JST and, significantly for the new SIGN token, opening up that high leverage trading, albeit with high risk.
Yep. And for those looking to maybe grow their holdings more passively, there are those enhanced earning opportunities with NFP through the flexible products promotion and giveaway.
Right. Plus, Binance continues to expand its margin trading options with SIGN now borrowable.
And the convenient Convert tool also supporting the new tokens soon after launch.
These constant developments, they really underscore just how dynamic the crypto market is. It never stands still.
Not for a second. And it shows the ongoing efforts by platforms like Binance to provide more and more ways for users like you to interact with digital assets.
Absolutely.
Which I guess raises an important question for you, the listener. Considering all these new possibilities, the new tokens, the trading options, the earning opportunities, how might you think about navigating the current crypto landscape?
Yeah, what's your approach?
What further investigation might you undertake based on what we've discussed today? And remember, resources like Binance Academy and Binance Square are out there for you to explore the stuff in greater detail.
Definitely a lot to consider. Well, thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.
My pleasure.
We'll be back soon to explore other fascinating corners of the crypto world.